Welcome into the Lucas and Lucas podcast. Lucas Franco alongside the Italian stallion Mike Lucas back from Italy. Mike is also an avid reader. Tell
I
us
am.
about the reading you've been doing. What's your favorite book that you read recently?
Project Hail Mary. It was incredible. Could not recommend it highly enough to anyone who wants to read a little fiction.
Oh, I hate
There's
fiction. You read fiction? Gross. It's
I,
disgusting.
I mix it up. I've been doing a little bit of everything. Some biographies, some history books,
What's
some
the best
novels,
biography you
some
read?
mysteries. What do you say?
The best biography you read?
Ever?
Oh, I read. And then you said you read 12 books so far here in
Yeah,
2025.
I actually haven't done a biography this year. I read
Been reading a lot of fiction.
Yeah, I've been reading some like murder drama stuff lately, actually. So
Interesting.
listen, just whatever it's by the pool. I like to read stuff by the, oh, you know what biography I did read? It's actually right here. It's called Red Notice by Bill Browder, and it's a biography about it's a true story. So it's nonfiction, less not a biography, more just
Memoir.
yeah, but it's about it's a good book. Worth your read if
All
you
right.
like
Well, this is not a reading podcast. This
Russian
is a
investments.
sports podcast. And we are gearing up for football being officially back. And I know the sports world, especially Cleveland, is extremely excited for Friday night. Shedeur Sanders taking the field, starting preseason game number 1 for the Browns. And Mike, I just got to tell you, I am going to be rooting so hard for Shedeur. I hope he absolutely lights it up in every single possession that he has with the Browns because I want them to have to feel the pressure of Shedeur dominating Dion, tweeting,
Yeah.
start the man. And I hope that he makes this as hard as possible for the Browns to the point where he has to start week number 1 of the NFL season.
Yeah, it's a circus. And it's a shame because Shador has not brought any of it upon himself. But it is the number one story in preseason right now. It is the number one single most
I
interesting.
mean, maybe in Cleveland, but not in
No,
the NFL.
in the league,
No, it's
in
not.
the
Michael
entire.
Parsons is exponentially bigger. What are you talking about?
Well, that's not okay. In terms of the actual action in preseason, like what's going to happen in week 1 of preseason right now.
Oh, in terms of like
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Not like overall story. I'm saying like the preseason storylines on the field. You're right. Micah Parsons off the field is a bigger story, 100%. I'm just saying like in terms of week 1 of preseason, what
I
is the
mean,
number one
Travis
thing?
Hunter playing both sides of the ball is pretty up there.
I don't think it comes with the same fan, and it's because of the quarterback position. It's because of the player and the Browns. Despite what Kevin Stefanski has said, and Kevin Stefanski continues to say it's an open quarterback battle. They have not handled the practice reps. They have not handled the joint practice reps. They have not handled the team drills, the 7-on-7s, the reps with the ones and the twos, as if it were an open quarterback competition, despite what Kevin Stefanski keeps saying. And then because of some injuries, I don't think it was ever the Browns' plan to start Shedeur Sanders in this first preseason game. But Dylan Gabriel tweaked a hamstring. Kenny Pickett tweaked a hamstring. Joe Flacco was not going to play in the preseason. We're going to see Shedeur for the first time in his entire NFL career, Frank, get reps with the number ones. Now, I know some of the ones aren't going to play. It won't be a full arsenal of weapons. Judy and Tillman are out. But up to this point in camp, Frank, he has had zero repetitions with the number ones in camp. Zero. None. Zero zips, nada. Yesterday at joint practice against Carolina, guess how many reps he got with the ones? Zero. And Carolina's number one defense is going to play at least 2 series. That was according to Dave Canales, the Panthers coach. There are certain guys, Frank, who are just gamers. It doesn't matter who they're playing with, who they're playing against, when, where. It is irrelevant. They bring it. They're ready to step up to the moment, and we're going to find out if Shador kind of has that in him. But there's this whole narrative, and I'm curious what you think. And I'm going to let you go first on this part of it. That the Browns are setting Shador up to fail. Like they're almost trying to sabotage the start to his NFL career. And I've seen everyone from Stephen A. Smith to Louis Riddick suggest this over the last couple of days. And before I tell you what I think on that, I'm curious what you think.
I mean, the way you just sort of laid it out, it kind of. I was about to literally ask you, do you believe they're setting him up to fail based on the fact that they're throwing him out there against, the number 1 defense and without some of the elite weapons? But I also understand from the other side that you mentioned all the injuries with Flacco not going to play. Pickett's hurt. Dylan Gabriel's hurt. They just signed Tyler Huntley. So it's not like they have all this list of guys who's, ready to go out there and play quarterback. So based on the healthy guys, Shedeur is probably the number one guy that would play.
Yes. Thank you.
So
Thank
it's
you.
so it's either him or Tyler Huntley plays the entire game, which uh wouldn't really benefit much of anybody because Tyler Huntley is going to probably be released in a week or two once.
They only signed him so they had someone healthy enough to play in this game.
Right, exactly. So it is based on the way the practices have been running, it does seem maybe a little unfair to Shedeur that they're not letting him even like have a rep with the guys he's going to play a game with. But at the same time, like you understand the situation the Browns are in. But if those guys aren't, I guess Flacco's taking the reps with the ones in practice. So I don't know. I've never played in an NFL practice before, so I can't really speak to how critical that is. And in the grand scheme of things, it's preseason, so it's not like this is a game that's gonna define Shedeur Sanders. I mean, I guess it might. I mean, he might end up not making the team. I guess that's always a possibility if he ends up really being really terrible. And the Browns have a million quarterbacks on their team, so if he does not end up playing well, I guess it could end up backfiring for him in the sense that he might end up getting released. But that's an extreme worst case scenario. But Shadeur's also a gamer. Like he's I mean, talking to our draft guys, he was, a top two or three quarterback in the class. And for various reasons, he ended up falling around five. So maybe he's able to rekindle some of that magic. And Shedeur is, based on, what I've seen and heard from him, he does not lack confidence at all. The guy believes probably that he should be, he should have been a first round pick. He probably believes he's the best quarterback in that room. So it's hard for me to say how it's going to all translate to on the field. I'd say it's a little unfair from the Browns, but at the same time, I can't speak to the history of preseason where guys who have come in and played with guys they haven't practiced with. So that's where I stand on the matter.
So if the starters don't play, even though they're going up against Carolina's number one defense, he'll be playing with the guys that he's actually been practicing with because he's been running with the threes and the twos and the fours. I don't know why I said 3-2-4 instead of 2-3-4, but you get what I'm saying. He's actually going to be throwing to the receivers that he's been throwing to in practice. And more than anything else, Frank, the plan wasn't to start Shedeur Sanders and throw him out there to the Wolves. He's only starting because Gabriel and Pickett aren't capable of playing and they don't want to risk having them go out there with a minor hamstring tweak and having them injure it further and then missing more of the battle. But I would ask this to anyone who says they're trying to sabotage Shedeur Sanders. If you are a fifth round quarterback, any player drafted in the fifth round, right? Wouldn't you kill for the opportunity to start and get a chance to show what you can do against the other team's top players?
I mean, Shedeur should be. I mean, there's no one who should be more excited about
That's what I'm saying. Like, sure, you could make any situation fit your narrative, right? And I tweeted out yesterday when Stefanski said that Tillman and Judy weren't going to play. And I literally quote tweeted that and said, Shedeur will get his first NFL action against the Carolina defense without the Browns' top two receivers. No opinion. It's just a simple fact, right? That's 1 and 2 on the depth chart. And it got twisted into me making excuses for Shedeur. I was just simply stating a fact. Listen, Riley Leonard was a fifth round pick in Indianapolis. Don't you think Riley Leonard would love to start their first preseason game as opposed to having to sit on the sidelines and wait for Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson to battle it out back and forth? He is the only quarterback on the Browns roster that is going to play in the game on Friday night that will potentially be on the roster when the regular season starts, which means he's going to get at least a half. I would assume it's at least a half, maybe even more, of real game reps that Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco aren't getting. Shedeur is clearly the fourth quarterback on the Browns depth chart based on how the Browns have organized their practice structure and their rep distribution. Do you know how you raise up on the depth chart? You do things that the other guys aren't. If they're not playing in the game, Frank, you can't fall further on the depth chart than last. He can only go up. So you can look at this as, oh, they're sabotaging Shedeur by putting him on there with the second teamers against the. He's getting a chance to start a freaking preseason game as a fifth round pick, and Dylan Gabriel's not playing. This whole thing, we spent so much time on it this week, Frank. If you can't tell, I'm like really worked up about this because I'm losing my damn mind over this. This is an opportunity. I'll put it in real life terms, Frank, and then we can move on and talk about anything else, right? If you got a call from CBS and they said, Frank, we need you to anchor the 7 o'clock show, right? Like we need no one else. We need you to anchor the 7 o'clock show.
You told me to jump. You asked me to jump. I say how high.
It's an opportunity that you wouldn't get otherwise, and the only thing they could do is help. If they never ask you to start anchor another show again, you know what? You had your shot. If they see potential, you get these opportunities once in a lifetime. Shedeur will have more chances in the preseason. I get it. But this is a chance with the other two guys out to have a week of film that you put on tape that show you can or you can't play. And whatever he does against Carolina won't be the definitive end of his career, good or bad. If he balls out, it doesn't mean he's the savior. If he's terrible, it doesn't mean he's a bust. But he's going to get tape that the other guys don't have, and they all have practice tape. And practice tape is fine, but you know what really counts? Game tape. What do you do when it actually matters? And right now, Shedeur has a chance against an NFL defense, their ones and their twos, to show that, yeah, it was a fifth-round pick, and I'm maybe not playing with Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku, and it's the backup offensive line. I don't give a rat's you know what. I'm here to ball. So it's not a sabotage. It's an opportunity for Shedeur.
Will there be a Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show post game recap of the Browns' first preseason game?
Do you know how crazy this is, Frank? We're not doing a post-game show. We're doing a when Shedeur subs out reaction show.
Okay, so immediately once he's done.
Yes. So if he comes out in the third quarter, we'll be live the next play. If he's done at halftime, we'll be on at halftime. If he plays the whole game, then we will be a real post-game show. But yes, we will.
It would be pretty funny if they just put him out there for one series and then the rest was Tyler Huntley and like there was all this hype and that was just like done.
You want to, yeah, that Frank, you know what? Yes, that would be hysterical. That would mean the Browns are officially toying with Shedeur Sanders.
We'll see. I'm very curious to see. Obviously, the whole NFL world is curious to see what he does. But I was very impressed with the Shedeur's answer earlier this week about they was asked about Deion Sanders and how he doesn't want him to go to camp. I was like, wow, that was a really mature answer. Obviously, he basically said he doesn't want him there. He wants him there when he feels like he's in a position where he's, legitimately in a position to do something in the NFL. Then he'll want Deion there, but not now because of the distraction element of it all and whatnot. So I thought that was a really good answer, but obviously it's been just a little bit of a tumultuous camp for Shedeur with all the speeding tickets and whatnot. So in front of the mic, he's great. I guess
incredible.
When that microphone,
super likable guy.
when that microphone shuts off, it's who is this guy really is the question. But who knows? We'll ever see the other side of Shedeur because I think there is another side of Shedeur. It's just a matter of what he's like when that light goes off. I mean, you could say the same for anyone really, but especially with Shedeur because there's a lot of been said about his reputation and whatnot. So who knows? But I'm curious to see how he looks on Friday evening against the Carolina Panthers. We'll get to Micah Parsons in a second, but we should transition to Major League Baseball and the New York Yankees. And this has been my emotional attachment to the Yankees is essentially gone. I am
really.
I'm at the point where I don't care.
Isn't it a beautiful place to be, Frank? I've been there for a while.
The Guardians are playing. They're only a game and a half out of a playoff.
Well, I mean, the Yankees are in the playoffs. They're chasing the Yankees, but
I just visioned you all. You're all Cleveland, Browns, Guardians, Cavs.
No, we actually had this question on the show. Someone asked me if the Browns play the Giants in the Super Bowl, who would I root for? The Giants, it's never going to happen. There's a better chance that those two are battling for the first overall pick, but I root for the Giants. It's a no-brainer. But I've been removed from the Yankees, Frank, emotionally, for about 4 years now.
Wow.
And
I mean, they made the World Series last year.
I mean, it's not like I hate the Yankees. I don't live and die every game. If they go on that 5-game losing streak like they did, and Devin Williams continues to be a disaster,
I mean, listen, I've been out on Aaron.
Doesn't bother me.
I've been out on Aaron Boone since before the Yankees hired him. I was shocked when they initially hired him. I was like, well, this guy, what is this guy going to do? And I thought Joe Girardi should have been allowed to stay a lot longer than he did, but obviously Aaron Boone wants the sounding board of Brian Cashman wants Boone as his little puppet to do all his little things for him. But there's just certain things over the courses of games and seasons that you're just like what were you thinking? And the Monday night with Devin Williams, or sorry, it was Tuesday. Get all my days mixed up now. After he blew the save on Monday, they roll him back out there on on Tuesday in the eighth inning of a scoreless game, and he proceeds to give up 2 runs. The Yankees lose 2-0. It was just like how he's been terrible his last 2 outings. You bring him out there again in a high leverage spot, and he sucks again. Like, what justification is there to roll him out there again? Devin Williams has been one of the worst Yankees of my lifetime. He's
Yeah.
easily in the top five, along with like a Aroldis Chapman, Jacoby Ellsbury. Uh,
Well, Chapman had his moments. Ellsbury's definitely up there, but
All right, you say he had his moments. What's a moment that comes to mind when you think of Aroldis Chapman with the Yankees?
I okay, maybe like I can't think of a big one,
He
but
blew the 2019 season with the Altuve home run. He blew 2020 with he gave up that home run in the deciding game 5 of the ALDS against the Rays. That was 2021. They lost in the wild card game, so he didn't have a chance to blow it. 2022, he quit on the team before the playoffs. He quit on the team. Literally went to Miami, didn't want to be a part of the team, and then signs is now a Red Sox and is pitching like as best as well as he's ever had. He blew. He was a part of blowing 3 seasons for the Yankees in the playoffs.
he had 150 saves with the Yankees, though. Like, yes,
Listen, he made All-Star teams, but I don't care what he did during the
oh,
regular
so you
season.
can't say he's the worst if he made
Oh,
like
no, 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 no.
Devin Williams has been an
Hang
objective
on. I
horrific
can say
player.
whatever I want. In
Fair.
my mind, he is one of the worst Yankees I've ever seen. Aroldis Chapman, as is Devin Williams, as is Jacoby Ellsbury. Another other horrible Yankees include Aaron Hicks. Even though he had some, Aaron Hicks had one of the best catches I've ever seen against the Twins in 2019 in July when he had that diving catch in extra innings. The Yankees up by 2 off of Max Kepler line drive in the gap with Ryan Rucco. It was one of the best, still to this day, the best catch I've ever seen from an outfielder. But he is one of the worst Yankees. So listen, it is what it is, and it's crazy. Friday night against the Marlins was like essentially to this point. I mean, the Yankees could have still ended up making the playoffs and making a wild card game and whatnot, but that was a chance for the Yankees to go move 2.5 games behind the Blue Jays for first place, a chance to extend their winning streak to 4 straight, and they end up losing that game. Jose Caballero, one of the trade deadline acquisitions, loses the ball as he's charging it, goes by him. Marlins tie the game, go on to win the game. And then you blink, Yankees go on a 5 game losing streak. They go from potentially being 2.5 games out to 6.5 games out. And everything just completely flipped. And it's been one of the most frustrating times ever. Aaron, it's like if you would have told me before yesterday's game that, all right, Lucas, if you lose this game, we will fire Aaron Boone. I would have signed so fast. So fast.
Yeah.
And
Listen, I'm ready with you. At some point, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And maybe they right the ship and go on some magical run here. I just don't see how they can, especially with Judge being hurt. I know he's coming back, but he's going to be DHing. Will he be able to
he's
play?
back. He's back.
But he's DHing, right? He's not in the
All
field
right.
yet, is
And now
he?
Stan's out of the lineup. So
Exactly.
we'll see this weekend though. I think Stan's probably going to play right field at least one of the 3 games this weekend.
So he's going to get hurt and head back to the IL then because he literally can't play in the field without hurting himself. So I don't see how the Yankees turn this into a championship caliber team. Even, you know, I liked what they did at the deadline, but I still have no faith in the bullpen, and their starters are so inconsistent. So I, it's a team that if everything goes right, could make a run, but they need so many things to go right that haven't gone right this year that it feels like a far cry from something we should expect. If it happens, it'll be incredibly lucky, but I'm just ready for a whole new regime, a whole new way of thinking, a whole new approach to the game, offensively, defensively, pitching. I'm kind of over Volpe at short too, Frank,
He's actually
which is
been
a whole
playing really
different
well
story.
offensively.
What do you say?
He had a really rough stretch, but over like the past week, he's been like actually playing really good baseball. So
A
like
week's fine. He's for the season. He's been a disappointment. He
got
has
a
been a
career high in R. He's hang on. So Anthony Volpe. So he obviously gets a lot of slack. So in terms of, I'm gonna try to pull this up in terms of if I can do it by shortstop. Let me see here. So he's all right here, shortstop. So in terms of major league shortstops, Anthony Volpe is one, two, three, four, five. He's got the sixth most home runs among MLB tied for the sixth most home runs among MLB shortstops, more than Gunnar Henderson, more than Trey Turner, more than Mookie Betts, like guys that are making
It's
big time.
crazy that Mookie Betts is a shortstop, by the way. Like it still throws me for a wrench every time I hear that.
He is eighth, tied for the seventh most RBIs among shortstops, ahead of guys like Dansby Swanson, Betts again, Gunnar Henderson, Trey Turner, Jacob Wilson. Listen, Volpe's defense has been certainly not great, but it's I can't believe I'm defending him because I'm like I don't believe that he's like the shortstop of the future. But if you look at the stats,
Do you have
and
any confidence when Volpe is at the plate in a big moment? Because
um,
I don't. And to me, like
I mean,
we
if you had asked me that 2 weeks ago, I'd have been like, hell no. But he's in ebbs and flows. I mean, listen, he's still really. I can't believe I'm
he's
doing.
still young.
What are
I
you
give him
making me
credit.
do? How are you making me defend Anthony Volpe right now? What spell did you put on me? It's like because like if you just ask me without looking at the stats, I'm like he's so terrible. He is not the shortstop I want on my team. But if you look at the stats, he's been one of the most productive offensive shortstops in baseball. So it's
Where does his OPS rank?
all right. Now I gotta go back to OPS. So OPS. Oh, he's actually pretty far down in OPS.
Yeah, which is more, you know, I don't know. He has to sell me back for me to buy back into Volpe. I don't know. Maybe I'm more down and I'm more removed, so I'm not day to day. So if he was playing better, I just kind of see the fact they lose. I'm not watching these games like you are, Frank. So I'll admit that maybe I'm a little naive on this, but outside of Judge, I feel like the lineup's not as dangerous as it once was. They don't have as many guys that instill fear. I don't love their leadoff situation. Like it goes back and forth. I thought Austin Wells was gonna have a breakout season.
Austin Wells has been an absolute disaster.
That's what
He
I'm saying. It's just everyone I thought that I had high hopes for this year just hasn't panned out. And like I said, I just think it's time for an overall organizational change from Volpe, not from Volpe, from Aaron Boone on, hell, from Cashman on down. If we're being honest, I know Cashman has a contract for life, and that probably means and Aaron Boone has a contract for life too. But I'm all for making some pretty significant changes if we could.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's really no confidence level that they're gonna end up making a change. It feels like Yankees Twitter is like really on the ledge of like Boone. They got the Astros this weekend, so we'll see. But Devin Williams should not be brought in any sort of high leverage situation for a long time. Like enough is enough with that. You have other high leverage guys in the back end of the bullpen like Bednar, Doval, Luke Weaver. All those guys should be Mark Leiter Jr. All those guys should be ahead of Devin Williams when it comes to pitching in a high leverage situations. A couple other things we want to hit on before we go. Michael Parsons situation obviously is the number one story in the NFL right now. I find it hilarious every time Jerry Jones speaks. I love his accent. I love his tone. They ask him, Jerry, are you confident that Michael Parsons is going to play week one? He goes, no, absolutely not. No, no. I just love his diction, the way he sounds. He's really quite the entertainer, if I have to say.
Great
Um,
actor.
as for the whole situation with Parsons, Jerry Jones is so stubborn and so arrogant because it seems like all he has to do is call up the agent and they could just talk and all right, $42 million a year, done. It seems like it's that simple, but Jerry Jones wants to do these over like handshake with just a player because he's so old fashioned that he can't adjust to the normal situations. So I just find it hilarious. I also find it hilarious. Michael Parsons writes a post on Twitter. Thank you, Dallas. Like he's never gonna play there again. I like why did he have to do it like that? He could have just said, I've requested a trade from the Cowboys or like something not like thank you, Dallas. Like he's never gonna play there again. I get it's all a negotiating play. It's such a soap opera. And I don't know if Jerry Jones is like thrilled with what's going on or he's mortified. I can't get inside his head, but it's definitely one of the two. He's either the happiest person in the world that this is the number one story, or he is so angry about the way this is playing.
No, it's number one. He's told us, like, he's come out and said this before. He is happiest when people are talking about the Cowboys. And I am almost convinced that he does this all intentionally. This is 3 years in a row. It was Dak, then it was CD, then now it's Micah, and next year it'll be whoever the next guy who wants a contract is, and he's gonna set it all up so that throughout the entire preseason, That is the number one storyline. Jerry Jones is not about winning football games. Not about winning championships. At the end of the day, the Cowboys have a ton of money they could spend that they choose not to spend. Despite them being the most valuable franchise in football, they have an actual cash flow that is one of the lowest numbers in all of football. Jerry does not like to pay these advanced contracts and give guys money before they're due their actual money, which, in my opinion, if you have the cash and the ability to do so, is how you set up your team for financial success on and off the field for the next couple of years. Look how the Eagles operate. The Browns have tried to replicate that. They just keep picking the wrong guys to do it with. There are a bunch of teams that like to pay it forward. The Bengals, on the other hand, are the opposite end of the spectrum. They wait till your contract's up, then they negotiate. When in theory, if you have enough money to pay it ahead of time, you can manipulate the cap, keep kicking the can down the road, and have guys under contract and make all those contracts fit under the salary cap in a way that Jerry Jones certainly can't afford, but chooses not to. And he likes when the Cowboys are the center of attention. He likes the fact that we're all talking about the Cowboys. And he likes the fact that you can turn on ESPN at any point of the day, and the number one story is Shedeur Sanders and Micah Parsons. He has a hard on for this, Frank. Like, yeah, Micah Parsons ain't getting traded. He's going to play for the Cowboys this year. He's going to
Fun.
sign his contract the Tuesday of the first week of the season, something like
I
that.
heard him podcast say he's gonna sign like third like during the opener. It just takes so
Yeah, like exactly. And
wait, hang on. They play the hang on. It's Eagles Cowboys to
I think
start.
actually they play in the opener. So yeah, they'll sign on
So
like the
it'll probably be
Monday
on
of the first week.
Tuesday the opener. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's gonna.
And every time this happens, the player that is holding out and then plays after like not participating in camp always gets hurt every time.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna sign. He's gonna sign. He's gonna be a Cowboy. These trade rumors are hysterical. Any team that needs a pass rusher, hell, any team that doesn't need a pass rusher, should be calling the Cowboys and trying to acquire one Micah Parsons. And if the Cowboys trade him, it would be a colossal failure and an organizational disappointment. But let's be honest, he's not getting traded. He's going to play for the Cowboys. Jerry Jones is eating this all up.
Because I mean, yeah, I agree. It just there's a really easy solution to all of this, and
Just pay him.
well, or just call the agent, like call his agent.
Yeah.
It seems
It's
like
also funny, too, real quick, on all of these. It's always cheaper to pay them earlier. Like waiting never makes it a more frugal deal. Like the salary cap just goes up every year. These contracts get more expensive every year. The next guy is always the highest paid guy. So pay him now and you could end up saving yourself some money down the road.
yeah, because yeah, the contracts always go up. Nothing ever gets cheaper.
Aiden Hutchinson's up for an extension next year. If he has a monster season, he's going to get more than Micah Parsons did. Myles Garrett signed the biggest non-quarterback contract ever earlier this offseason. And then TJ Watt topped it. And then Micah Parsons is going to top it. And then Aiden Hutchinson's going to top it. And
I
then
don't
the
know.
next
I don't know. I Aiden Hutchinson's not better than T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, and Micah
he
Parsons.
was on pace to win DPOY before he got hurt last year.
I don't think he's as good. I think he's obviously a great player and one of the best players in the NFL. But he's not. I would take Garrett, Watt, and Parsons all over Aiden
I'm
Hutchinson.
not saying he's better. I'm just saying he'll be the next one to get the highest paid contract.
I don't think you can justify him getting more than Parsons and Watt. He's not as good as them.
Well, I mean, he was last year before he got hurt.
All right, well, wait to see on that. Last thing before we go, I got some social media pet peeves.
Oh,
Oh,
yes, I was ready for this one.
I want to get it off my chest. First one is Jeff Passan, great baseball insider for ESPN. Whenever he tweets all the time, and like he'll be like, Cal Raleigh just hit his 41st home run of the season. It's July 21st. It's like I know what the hell date it is, man. If I didn't know what date it is, whoever is on the social media reading these things and doesn't know what date it is, maybe they shouldn't be on the app. Stop telling me what the date is. I know what date it is. If someone doesn't know what the date is, then they shouldn't be on social media. End of conversation with that. Number two is, and people do this a lot, especially you, is they say 10 out of 10 would recommend whatever they're doing. A trip they had, a food they had, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Really? 10 out of 10?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I say 8 out of 10 would recommend. Sometimes I say 4 out of 10 would recommend.
Those are the two I can think of, but the passing one just really, really grinds my gears.
You know what grinds my gears, Frank? when someone on social media who I know is a fan of a certain team and is just trying to jinx another team uses all the team hashtags.
That is the worst. That
That
really
I can't
gets me
stand
angry.
when I absolutely cannot stand when people do that. It really frustrates me. And I also get very annoyed when people tweet or really when they quote tweet a video and say something silly like, "Oh, nothing like a go-ahead first inning homer," or
In baseball, I mean, like, what are we doing talking baseball? Go ahead homer in the first inning. Like, what the hell are we doing? There's no such thing as a go ahead homer in the first inning.
I love when people quote tweet things from teams and add their commentary to it. Like, for example, if a baseball team was to tweet, "Please be advised, we intend to resume play at approximately 5:20," and someone was to quote tweet it and say, "Unbelievable," weird.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
and then the Guardians have a gambling thing going on right now. What Guardians not being paid enough? Why do they keep
and
gambling on baseball?
do you want my like? I have no information on this, Frank. Pure speculation. Pure speculation.
Okay.
I'm not sure about Ortiz. That one, I don't know. But Ortiz and
I mean,
Class
the
A
video
got
is pretty damning. He's clearly
no,
like,
no, 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 no. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't know the backing behind that. I have no real thought. But Ortiz came this year. Him and Class A got real close. Like you talk to anyone in the clubhouse, those two were they're like best friends. I had heard some
is
stuff.
that what this means?
Yeah, like real close, like you and me, real close.
Yeah.
It's a groomsman in your wedding, just like that. Um, I had heard once again. This is from social media. I heard that Clase may have been in some deep trouble with the Dominican mob,
Oh my God.
and some of that stuff could have been tied back to paying. I don't know, paying off debts, paying off whatever. But there's no. I can't think. It's so crazy that I think it could have a little plausibility because there's no other reason why a guy like Emmanuel Clase, who's making real money and was in line to get a huge contract in 2 years, would risk doing something like that that can be so easily traced on a bet and a wager that has these tiny limits. You couldn't even bet that much money on these. Like the max bet on a lot of those was $100. You're winning. You see, like I frankly don't understand what they were doing here other than him being pressured by some outside influence. Like he's making more money in a per game basis than so. I don't know. I hope it's not. I hope that's just silly online fodder. But I do think there's a chance it could be real.
Yeah. So we'll see if he ends up playing.
He'll never play again. Him and Ortiz will never pitch again.
Oh, all right. On that note, that will do it for this edition of Lucas podcast. We will be back next week reacting to Shedeur Sanders' first preseason start when he plays one series, does not attempt to pass, hands the ball off 3 times. Browns go three and out.
Social media will burn down if that happens.
How funny would that be? That would like make my year if he just handed the ball off 3 times and then took his helmet off, went to the locker room, and was done for the day. That would be so funny. See you
Oh
next week.
God, don't happen. Don't happen. I can't deal with
Peace.
it.